Anime Vanguards Update 9 is going to be the update that changes the most amount of things in the game. There are going to be a myriad of changes in Anime Vanguards that will not only change how the game looks and feels, but also changes how the game will feel, because there's just so much stuff coming in Update 9, and today we're going to talk about all of it. Now, just so you guys know, our goal is to eventually get to 100k subscribers. Now, for us to get to this goal, you guys need to like and subscribe, so don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, we are going to be trying to post 2 videos daily, one for Anime Vanguards and one for other tower defense games. So if you want to support those other content, then stay tuned for those as well. Like and subscribe, let's get to 100k, and without further ado, let's start today's video. Alright, so starting Anime Vanguards Update 9, everything is just going to be different. There's going to be 2 main things where everything is just going to change, and these are 2 of the biggest things, and that is going to be number 1, how the game looks like itself, the visual changes. Number 2, it's going to be the gameplay changes and how, the game itself will change the way the game is played. We're going to talk about that. And for the visual changes, it's mostly just going to be model reworks, right? Because after Anime Vanguards Update 9, we are now going to be getting non-copyrighted models of the units that we know and love. So take a look right here at Escanor. If this is Escanor, he's going to look completely different once the remodels hit, right? So an example of this is already the JJK characters. We have Toji, we have Sukuna, we have Gojo, we have Todo, we have all these characters right here. We have Jogo even. And here is my take on this. And the reason why this is going to be a very big change is because obviously we play these games for the characters themselves. We don't play these games to, just tower defend. We're not playing these games to just tower defend. Otherwise, we would be playing other tower defense games that aren't anime based. The reason why these games are so big is because of the hype and the idea of collecting your favorite anime characters and using them to defend your tower, to defend your base. That's the main thought process behind these games, right? So that is why this is going to be a big change. And my thoughts on this is that some of these remodels we will like, and some of these remodels we will hate or dislike. I kind of like the remodel that Sukuna has. This is the best remodel right now, in my opinion. And then I also dislike the remodel that Toji has. It's just absolutely, it's too feminine. For someone as masculine as Toji, for him to have something like this, it looks very feminine for his character. It just doesn't match his vibe. It doesn't match his character at all, in my opinion. And you also have Gojo, which just doesn't match him, in my opinion. I don't know how to explain it, but I just dislike this one. But this is better than the Toji one, in my opinion. This is better than the Toji one, right? And we also have the Jogo remodel, and the Jogo remodel, in my opinion, is good. And this remodel right here is probably better than the actual model that we have right now. Even the Sukuna model is probably better than the model that we have right now. And these remodels are either just going to make it or break it, right? And again, I'm already seeing some of these remodels are going to be better, then some of these remodels are going to be slightly worse. Like again, the Toji and Gojo one. The Gojo one, it's personal preference, right? All of this is personal preference. Some people actually don't like the Sukuna remodel. Some people don't like the Gojo remodel. Sorry, I like the Sukuna remodel. Some people dislike it. I don't like the Gojo remodel. Some people like it. I feel like they could have, lost. I just feel like Gojo doesn't match this vibe. That's just my personal opinion on this thing. Gojo doesn't match that vibe. Alright, so that's pretty much it for the remodels and for the visual looks. Again, right now, Anime Vanguards is really, really good when it comes to remodeling the characters and still keeping the way it feels. Like, for example, Cloth Akiri is a remodel. Just so you guys know, this is a remodel, but it looks recognizable still. You also have, I believe, there's this one character, Rudy. Rudy is also a remodel, just so that you guys know. He is a 100% a remodel. So you guys could see right here, this is a remodel. This is not the actual one-to-one model. And it looks good, right? It looks good. So I think it doesn't matter, honestly. I feel like even though they're going to look different, they're still going to be quality. They're still going to be very, very good quality, in my opinion. So that's it pretty much for the model and visual changes. Some of them we will like. Some of them we will not like as much. Some of them we will love. And some of them, we will hate. So that's pretty much that. Now, for the gameplay changes that we're going to be getting in Anime Vanguards Update 9, we have trading. And this is just going to change the way the game is played. Now, there's positives and there's also negatives to trading. Because with trading, free-to-play players are going to be able to essentially have, a little bit more of an access to the things that pay-to-win players have, right? For people that don't buy bundles, you can now trade for those bundles, right? You can now trade for those bundles. For people who don't, have good burbs, you can now trade for those good burbs. But there's also negatives to this, obviously. And again, the way this will change the game is the reroll farming. Farming rerolls is now just going to be so much easier. And I already read a comment about this. The Monarch inflation, yes, it's going to get a lot worse. Because once, people start trading, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to abuse alts. A lot of people already have 4 alts in Anime Vanguards. And it's not easy to get a lot of alts. There's a level cap to trading of level 50, but it's not very hard to get to level 50. It's not very hard to get to level 100 even. And a lot of these people already have alts that are that level. And a lot of these guys are just going to abuse trading. They're going to get a lot of burbs. They're going to AFK farm the Vanguards. And then after the AFK farm the Vanguards, they're going to trade it. They're just going to trade it up and up and up. And they're just going to be able to get a lot of rerolls. As much as you say it's not going to change the way the game is played, it is. It 100% will change the way the game is played, and people that are obsessed with trading are 100% going to get an advantage over people who don't. On the bright side of this, there are also going to be free-to-play players that are now going to be able to catch up to people who spend money left and right. They're now going to be able to trade. They're now going to be able to, benefit more from trading. That's a positive side to this. There's also going to be black markets, which I guess the developers already know that black markets will exist. These are things that are just going to be part of trading 100%, and you're just going to have to accept it one way or the other. But yeah, this update will change the way that Anime Vanguards is played, and trading will have its positive and its negatives. And I feel like the positives will outweigh the negatives, but there is going to be one of the biggest negatives that I can see is obviously the black markets, and also the people that trade and abuse alts are just going to have a lot more advantage over the players who don't use alts. Because imagine, a player abusing 5 alts to farm Vanguards, and imagine them trading those Vanguards to other players for profit. And that's just how the game is going to be played, especially for the competitive players who actually do that. But it's not going to be all that bad. I feel like it's not going to be the end of the world or the end of the economy of Anime Vanguards, and it's going to be more positive because players who don't have a lot of rerolls or don't have money to buy the bundles or stuff like that, they can now just trade for it. They can now just trade their limited items that they worked hard for those, Vanguards or those, shiny items or those skins, those limited bundles, whatever. They can now just trade for those, which is a very, very big positive. But again, for you to actually be able to utilize trading effectively, you need to just know life trading. So there is going to be a very big difference between those people who master trading and actually just know life and dedicate their life to trading and those who don't. There just is going to be a very big difference. That's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This update will change Anime Vanguards whether you like it or not. And I feel like it's going to be for the better, right? It might also be, there might be some negative downsides to it, but it's going to mostly be for the better of Anime Vanguards. Now that's it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.